Okay, are we ready? Okay, so it's really very swollen. Sorry, I still have tonsillitis, guys. It's really very swollen along here. It's going to get a lot thinner. And the tip is so painful and so swollen still. Okay, so this is not its final form. But yeah, so this is side on. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see that. Oh, I'm so happy. Like, I think when they took the cast off, I immediately was like, my nose is wonky. My mum was like, it's a swelling. And I was like, my nose is wonky. Because I think when you're conscious about something, you really analyse it. And I really didn't want to be like that, but I've turned into that person. But on reflection, I'm now very aware that I cannot analyse what my nose will look like until 6 months' time. In 6 weeks, I'm going to go for my final appointment. Yeah, so anyway, they took out these splints, which are like inside my nose. I thought these things were legit going to be this big. I am not exaggerating, swear on my life, my mum's life, this fucking big, okay? That is the size of my nose, and they were like up here. So no wonder I've not been able to just breathe, or like, oh my god. They pulled those out and it didn't hurt, it was just like, ugh. It didn't hurt, it was just like, ugh. That was horrible. My nose is so tender, like I can't tell you. Unfortunately not like a tender chicken strip. I would so have some of those right now. But like really tender, I forget because the cast is off now, so I'm like rubbing my eye and then I like hit my nose and I'm like, oh, so painful. The stitches, I had to hold my mum's hand. I had to take a break halfway through. I thought I was gonna throw up, like it was so painful. I cannot even begin to tell you. Ugh, how horrible it was. I don't want to relive it. Like it actually makes me so emotional at how painful it was. Like I really can't tell you. Like I'm actually getting quite teary now because it was awful. I think today is just very emotional anyway. Like it's like, this is, you know, like this is my nose. Like I can see it now. Like it's huge. I've wanted this for such a long time, you know, and oh my god. And yeah, and just oh, I just know that I'm very happy and it has all been worth it. And I'm really excited. Very excited to see the end result. These are tears of joy. I'm not sad. I promise you I'm not sad. It's very emotional. I've wanted this for a long time. 8 very long years. 8 very long years to accept myself in order to be ready to do this. So I do feel a lot better today, thank the Lord. And yeah, I am super pleased with my nose. It's gonna be a really long healing process. Like if I touch it here, guys, I can't feel it. I don't know if that's normal, but I don't know, it tingles, but I can't feel it like I can feel that. But if I touch anywhere down here, oh, it makes me sick how painful it is. And if I touch anywhere like just above here, like above where my finger is there, I'm not gonna obviously touch it. It is so painful. So yeah, that's not so fun. What I will do is show you my nighttime ritual, because what people might not realise is I walk around like this during the day, but at night it is a totally different story. So I'll film what I have to do every night tonight so you can see for yourselves. Hey guys, so just quick nighttime vid because I'm gonna go to bed because I'm really tired. So every night I have to put this on. Basically it holds my nose in place. How ridiculous is that? Holds my nose in place and stops, like if I was to move during the night, it just basically like keeps it all like there. I don't even know if I've done this right, but basically it's just got to be tight and like stuck to my nose and everything. And then I'm gonna be really zooming in. Okay, anyway, so then I also have to clean like the inside of my nose with like a special solution, and then I have to clean the outside with saline solution, and then I put Savlon, which is this white stuff, on it, which is like everywhere, on it afterwards, basically just to stop any infections. It's fine, but it's just like a bit annoying. But yeah, so it's not too bad. It's coming along. Like, you can't really see because of the tape I've got on, but the my side profile is pretty good, and then front on I think you can probably maybe see like still quite a lot of swelling like around my eye here, and it like really hurts to touch. I'm gonna go to bed, so good night guys. Can I have a shout out? Alright. Number one fan over here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everyone who watched the first part of this two-parter video on my nose surgery. I really appreciate all of the lovely comments that I've received and all the questions and just how supportive everyone's been. It's been really amazing and quite emotional, so I really appreciate that from everyone. I'm also really glad that this video has been able to like help a lot of people by answering some questions and seeing what it's like. I think a lot of people are surprised at how normal it is. I think a lot of people see it as very much like a celebrity thing, and then when someone as boring as me has it done, they realise that actually it's quite normal. But yeah, so I said that I'd film a Q&A with any questions, so I've waited 2 weeks, and I've had a bunch of questions through. A lot of them are the same questions, so I'm definitely going to answer those ones, and I'm just going to like go through and answer all your questions and hopefully answer your questions. Imagine that in a Q&A. So yeah, well, let's begin. So the first question that literally everyone has asked me is who was my surgeon? He was called Dr. Lucian Ian. He's on Harley Street in London. He is possibly the nicest guy I've ever met. Like, he's so genuine, is doing it for all the right reasons. I think he genuinely loves his job. He isn't just doing it for the money, or at least that's the impression I got. So he really cares about you and what you get. It's like the final product sort of thing. I think as well, lots of people were like, I don't know what surgeon to choose, like how do I go through it, like how many did I see? I didn't see loads, I saw maybe 4, and the first 3 were just like nose. Like, one of them literally opened a book of celebrity noses and told me to pick one, and I went to all of the consultations with my mum, and we literally just were like and left, because that's just so unrealistic. And in fact, Mr. Ian is the only surgeon who, although he asked what I was looking for, didn't ask for a photo. And weirdly enough, if you saw on part 1 where he did like a Photoshop of the nose, he designed the nose that I had bought with me, because I wanted Emma Watson's nose, because she's got a really lovely little nose. And it actually is quite similar to that in the photo. So he knew what would suit me, and that's what he was going to give me. He wasn't going to give me just some random nose that I wanted, because that wouldn't have suited my face. And I think that's what quite a lot of people have said, is that it looks like this is my nose. Like, it doesn't look like I've had a nose job, which is like the best compliment ever. Like, my biggest fear was someone coming up to me and being like, you had a nose job, because that's actually so embarrassing. I'd be like, yeah, can you tell? Was the one before really that bad? But no. So he was amazing. I'd highly recommend him.
He does have a waiting list. He's a really, really good surgeon, so he has a waiting list, but it's worth it, I think. If you've waited however long with the issues that you've got, then you may as well wait an extra couple months and go to the right person rather than rush it and just get it done with someone. The other big question that everyone has asked me is how much did it cost? If I put it into perspective, you could buy a car. However, I don't think there's any point in me telling you the cost of it, because it's different to what, like, each individual case. Like, someone will get something minor done and it will be a lot less than what I had done. And also I chose to sleep over in the hospital and all of that sort of thing. So that does cost more. That was my choice. I decided to spend more because I thought it would be worth it. I thought it was worth staying in the hospital surrounded by nurses the night after surgery rather than go home. And as much as my mum knows what she's doing, have my mum looking after me. In case something went wrong, like, it could have just, you just worry after surgery, don't you? You don't know what to expect. So that was what we chose to do. And also you can just call up and they'll give you like a guesstimate of what they think it will be. So I think that's a much better way of doing it rather than me just telling you how much mine was, because that's not gonna be a reflection on how much yours will be. Then the other question was also about like the process, like what actually did I have done. So basically they cut it is rank. They cut away the front bit of your nose and literally lift up the skin and pull it back. So because the skin on your nose isn't actually attached to your nose, like if you touch your nose and like move it, you can see that it doesn't stay in place, it can be moved around. So they literally flip it back, like roll it back and hold it up against your foot. It is disgusting. It's not worth thinking about. And then they basically just cut away the bits that you don't want, reform it. I had mine what's the word, like shaved or like smoothed out basically, so that my nose wouldn't have any like bony bits to it, so it was just like completely smoothed over. Also gross. And then the front was like made smaller and like brought in, and then they just literally roll the skin back over and then sew it along the front here and then like up underneath inside the nose. So it's not very nice, but they didn't have to break my nose, which is what a lot of people ask. I think that's quite like scary, the idea of someone like going in with like a hammer, but I don't think they actually do that anymore. I think the bruises would have been a lot worse if I had had my nose broken, which I didn't. Thank God. Because I think I tagged my flatmate in a video of how it was made, and literally she was like, that's fucking disgusting, because it is really horrific. I don't suggest any of you actually find out the process. It's just not worth knowing. The other thing is, a lot of people have been worrying about the anaesthetic. You have to go under full anaesthetic. You have to be asleep for that. You would not want to be awake while someone's doing something on your face. You'd be so aware of it. It'd be really scary. You wouldn't be able to do anything. It would kind of be like a nightmare. So I actually think it's much better if you just accept that you're going to be asleep and it'll be fine. I've had an anaesthetic before this when I had my wisdom teeth removed, and it was fine. It's just, I know that people worry about it. If you're only going to have it once in your life for this surgery, then there's no point worrying about it. I think it's, of all the things, it's just not worth worrying about. I was nervous. Like, it is scary to go to sleep and not know what's going to happen. But you're going with people who know exactly what they're doing, and they've been doing it for such a long time, that really is nothing. There's nothing to be worried about. I don't get any side effects from anaesthetics. Like, I'm fine. I just go to sleep and I wake up and I'm like, hey. I was a little bit high and like a bit out of it, but that's fine. When my mum goes in an anaesthetic or whatever, she always wakes up crying, so at least I don't have that, bless her. But that, again, that's obviously not the end of the world, is it, if you wake up a bit teary. So I wouldn't worry about it. Of all the things to worry about, that's not it, honestly, at all. Don't worry. And then another thing was about the swelling. So after I had the cast removed, what was the swelling like? So I think you saw earlier in the video when I got the cast removed, I freaked out. I was like, it's wonky, I hate it, it's massive, it's swollen, it's this, it's that. Like, I remember I like burst into tears. My mum was like, you've just had the cast removed from a surgery. Do you really think that's not going to be swollen? And then I did like a miniature rain check and I was like, I'm being ridiculous. It's really not the end of the world. It's going to obviously decrease in swelling over time. It's the like, I think after a week, like, no one would have known that I'd had it done if they didn't know me before. It was, I would say that I didn't like my nose completely until about a month and a half later when the swelling had gone down, but there were parts of my nose that didn't go down straight away, and that was the tip, and that really annoyed me. I felt like it was like a bit bulbous and like big. And when I went for my post-op checkup, which was 6 weeks after surgery, he actually gave me steroid injections into the tip of my nose, which helps reduce swelling. They were completely free, I didn't have to pay for them, and I immediately saw a huge difference. In fact, all of my friends and family were like, wow, the swelling's gone down massively. So I think that's completely worth it, but it takes 6 months to heal and for all the swelling to go, so even right now this isn't the final product. So I don't think it's the end of the world if you're a bit stressed at first, but no one's going to realise that it's swollen, like only you're going to be conscious of it. For me, I was upset because I'd only had an issue with my profile, and then after I had the surgery I now had an issue with like the whole thing, like front on, because all the swelling was like around my eyes and like down the side of my nose. Whereas now I can still see the swelling and it does still annoy me, but no, if you met me now you'd have absolutely no idea that my nose was like quite swollen still. So I wouldn't worry, people don't notice, and I'm pretty sure if you were comfortable enough you could go out of the house the day after you had the cast off, no one would have any idea at all. So if you've got a job and stuff, obviously that's completely up to you. They advise you not to go back to work for, I think it's 2 weeks afterwards, just because if you knock it, it's the most painful thing in the whole world. It's not worth it. But if you're in a position where you can't say no to work, don't worry, people won't notice, and it's chiller. It's chiller. How long until it was fully recovered was another question. I'm still not fully recovered, as I've just said. It does take 6 months, but I would say it is still really painful. You're meant to massage it at night. I basically forget like every night that I meant to do that. But you're meant to just give it like a massage at the top, in the middle, and then at the tip. The tip is, I would say, completely numb. Like I know that I'm touching it because I am aware of that I'm touching it, but I have no feeling. Like it's weird. It's kind of like when you go to the dentist and they give you an anesthetic in like your cheek, and you're like aware that you can feel your cheek, but you can't feel your cheek. It's like that really odd sensation. I still have that in the tip. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea if the feeling's gonna come back. It doesn't actually bother me. At first I hated it, it felt really uncomfortable. But now I don't care so much. But yeah, this is, I can't really feel that at all. But here at the sides still are really painful. And sometimes when I wear my glasses, it's quite uncomfortable. But this is another thing, you can't wear glasses, sunglasses, anything like that for 6 weeks after surgery because it can actually dent your nose. So obviously you don't want to have your surgery and then come away and have like 2 massive like dents at the side of your nose where you've worn your glasses. So get used to contacts if you're a glasses wearer, and don't go on holiday where it's sunny. England decided to have the sunniest week it's ever had, like 2 weeks after I had the surgery, which is great. So I just bought a really cool hat. But yeah, so that was quite frustrating. But I'd say the whole process really hasn't been that bad. It's actually really weird watching back the video and seeing how much pain I was in, because I have no memory of that pain. In fact, people have asked me and I was like, yeah, it was fine, it was a bit painful, but like whatever. So yeah, the only other thing that I wanted to say was you really need to have a good like support system at home. My mum was a total G, like literally she did everything for me. She like made me food, made me tea. Like I honestly, guys, you can't eat proper food, like it hurts to move your mouth. My laugh was this thing where I'd go like because like I was like because I couldn't like I couldn't like do anything, so I do this really weird like honestly, and so it means you can't open your mouth to eat food or anything. It is really, really challenging. But the biggest thing is you have to have injections once a day in your tummy. That's basically, this is going to sound really weird. You take tablets to make your blood clot to stop your nose from bleeding, and then you have to have injections to stop your blood from clotting so that you don't die. So anyway, so my mum would like give me the injections in my tummy, and she was like amazing. All the ones that she did, I didn't bruise from, and all the ones the nurses did, I did bruise from. So me and mum were like, clearly you're in the wrong profession. But I'm only joking, honestly, like it was great though. But people who won't have that will either have to book in with their GP at home every single day and get it done, which obviously is going to cost petrol and you're going to be so tired. So it is something you need to consider, like, do I have that person at home who I can like rely on for just 1 week? And you have to have the injections at the same time every day. So you really just need to be like on it and have that. Like, I was really lucky I had that, but it is something that I had no idea was an issue until I had the surgery. In fact, we didn't even know that we had to do it. We literally were like, can we leave now, like in the morning after the surgery? And they were like, yeah, let me just talk you through the injection process. My mum's face is like, no, what? So yeah, I think that is something that obviously you want to be aware of. But yeah, I am so happy with it. Like, it has in no way changed my life. I'm basically exactly the same. I just don't have a mountain on my face. No, I'm joking. But I do, it's weird. Like, I would walk past people after having surgery and I'd still panic inside that they were going to see the side of my face. And then I'd realise that I don't need to panic anymore. And in fact, in that video where like I was taking the braids out of my hair, I remember sitting there taking the braids out and being so stressed that my face was like this to the camera, thinking, oh my God, everyone's gonna see my nose. And then it wasn't until like halfway through taking the braids out that I was like, oh wait, oh no, hold on, this is different now. Like, I don't need to have those insecurities. And even now, sometimes like I do forget and I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, ugh, what is that? Like, that's not me. But it was weird as well. Like, I really didn't recognize myself. It was really, really strange. Whereas a lot of other people like had no idea I had it done, like people that I'm quite close to. Not like super close as in the kind of people I told, but those that I see regularly but probably wouldn't sit down and be like, by the way, I'm having a nose job. They literally didn't know. So that was really comforting as well, because it meant that it suited my face. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone watching it. I can't believe it's had almost 3,000 views in 2 weeks. Like, that's the best any of my videos I've ever done, and to have so much support from like that many people is crazy. So yeah, if you do have any questions, you can email me, because my email is in the description box, or you can comment below if you feel comfortable enough. I realise that you might not want to personally speak out about it in an open comment section. But I will be deleting any unnecessary comments to anyone who is being mean. Haven't had it yet, but if it happens. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope that I've been able to answer all of the questions that you guys have asked, and hopefully you guys don't have to go through this process, but if you do, it's really not that bad. It's an amazing process. It's painful but worth it, and yeah, it's a blast. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye. Shout out to Alyssa.
Hello.